Welcome to Out of the Blue. I'm Andrew Ottman, and we're broadcasting from the College of Education. The college recently received a nearly $3 million grant from the National Science Foundation to create master's and doctoral degree programs in data literacy. The grant fully funds the degree work of 16 educators from 5 mid-state school districts, who in turn will become leaders in data literacy in their schools. Dr. Kevin Krahenbuhl, Director for the EDD program in Assessment Learning and Student Success, is leading what they call LEADS, Leaders in Education Advancing Data Science. Well, I'm going to call you Dr. K, because this guy really got me across the finish line. In my doctoral degree in your program, we could spend a lot of time talking about how great that degree program is, how it's perfect for working educators to get to that doctoral level like you've designed it. But we want to talk about something else, right? You've got some news to break about a fantastic grant, maybe the largest in the college history, correct?
I think that's the case. That's right.
Tell us all about it.
So the grant that we're talking about is called LEADS, and it stands for Leaders in Education Advancing Data Science. The grant was awarded by the National Science Foundation. It's about $3 million over the course of 5 years.
Wow.
And so what it's going to do is it's going to fund 16 different candidates right around our local area who are current teachers in data science classrooms. That's broadly speaking what our focus is. And it's going to fully fund a EDS degree and an EDD degree, the same degree you got, Dr. Ottman.
Okay, thank you.
To really transform their practice, but around the ideas of teacher leadership and data science. And so those two things are fused together in this grant, and we're really, really excited about what we're doing with our partners.
I mean, this is really incredible. We were talking off camera before we started the segment about how the university is investing in so much educational programs on these advanced technologies, quantum studies, data science, and now this. So why was data literacy so important in this grant that made it unique?
Glad you asked that question, because that's really a driving thing behind this. And so the world that we live in is just completely inundated with data. And we know it, you see it, we're bombarded. There can't go a day that goes by where you do not hear statistics says X or this says this. Our phones give a constant curation of stuff that's entirely driven by data that we often don't have access to. And yet it's curated this constant experience of reality that's telling us what we ought to think and how we ought to think. And so that world being inundated with data makes it even more important now that educators and students in particular lean into understanding how to make sense of data and what goes into how data is used in our daily lives. So that's really driving what's behind this, and we think there's no better place to do that in the K-12 schools and equipping students and teachers to lead for success in the future.
Obviously, this is new ground for us at MTSU. Is it new ground for other institutions or the higher education in general?
Generally, yes. There are definitely some pockets that our data science isn't necessarily new. It's a relatively new field, but seeing it in the context of education is much newer. And so taking these ideas around data science, around some of those topics and those problems I just talked about, and weaving them into the classroom to help the next generation of future citizens be equipped for that world, that's more new and that's more cutting edge.
That's fantastic. So what makes this, and I think you've described it a little bit, but what makes this different from traditional graduate degree programs?
So a series of things. Obviously the focus on data science is central to that, but we don't just leave it there. It's not just about one person's classroom. There's also this fusion of teacher leadership, and so the people that participate in this program are being equipped with the skills and knowledge to not just transform their own practice, but to impact those around them. And we hope that scaled out impact is going to affect the 16 persons who are currently in our first group here in those 5 partner districts, but then also scale out beyond that. And so by applying these ideas, not playing just in theory land, but putting it into practice in real world classrooms, we're going to have a constant set of our own curated data that we can interact with and say what's working well, what's working best, in what context, and how can we adjust that and adapt it elsewhere.
Wow. Well, you mentioned you're already partnered with 5 districts, 16 enrolled, right?
Yes, correct.
Do you know the 5? I'm putting you on the spot. Do you know the 5 districts?
I can name them, yep. So we
hear
got
'em.
Bedford County, Cannon County, Murfreesboro City Schools, Warren County, and Williamson County. So those are the local ones. There's also partners that aren't our school districts. So that's our local ones. We're also partnered with the Concord Consortium, which is a global leader in data science initiatives for education. And then obviously there's 3 different units at the College of Ed, the College of, in MTSU.
Right.
The College of Ed, the TSEC, Tennessee STEM Education Center, and also the Data Science Institute. So
Wow.
it's a huge a huge undertaking.
We love collaborations, and so let's talk a little bit about what role these partnerships with these 5 districts is going to play in the program's success.
So they've played a huge role on the front end, but they're going to continue throughout. So from beginning to end, we're trying to build as a real authentic partnership. Our partners, each of those districts that I mentioned in particular, has a designated liaison. That is someone who is working in their district office, who is part of our LEADS team. And they are giving us feedback on the coursework, on opportunities for interacting what we are doing in the classrooms with our students. So we're getting real-time feedback from what the districts are actually interested in, so that this is both immediately relevant to what they need now in the schools. And so that makes it, I think, a little better at adapting to the real-world needs of schools right now. So that's how they've been playing it to this point there. But now they're continuing to do it as the students are now entering into their second semester of the coursework. They are going to be working with their liaisons to make sure that what they're doing is in line with district goals, district initiatives as well. So there's constant coherence of what's happening in our work or in LEADS, as well as what's happening in the district. So it really works together as hopefully a real partnership, rather than just we're doing this and getting some money in the way.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
So what does success look like? If I'm a student and I go through this program, what's the finish line for me? What will I take away from this?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think that if I was to highlight a few things, it would be that they're going to change their attitude about themselves, and they're going to change their practice in ways that align with that. And so part one, that identity of their own identity, they're going to see themselves as more than just a teacher of a subject matter, but rather they're going to see themselves as a person who is in a position to take other students and help them make inferences around data that they wouldn't have been able to before. They're going to see themselves in a whole different light, but they're also going to see themselves as not just a teacher, but a leader of teachers. And so they're going to, within their own networks, build collaborations that either currently exist or don't yet exist, and build upon those. So they'll be able to see themselves in both the worlds of I am leading my classroom, but I'm also leading my building. And so those two things hopefully will come out as a result of this, and long term the goal really being that these students that are the next generation of civic students there are not going to be able to be swept away by every claim of data, but they're going to be able to ask good questions like, what do you mean by that? Where did that data come from? How did you interpret that? And have you ever considered something else?
That's fantastic. Well, Dr. K, we've got 16 students in the program now. The next opportunity to join is in the fall, correct?
Yeah, it's at this point, it's a turnover from a cohort to an open admission groups, and so candidates can start applying anytime they would like to. And it will begin in fall for them. It's a 5-semester program to an EDS. Students have to have a master's to enter, but then a meaningful connection to data science can be very broadly construed. So those are the key things to get in.
Fantastic. And the website?
Education.mtsu.edu. You can find all the resources there.
Wonderful, wonderful. Dr. K, congratulations. Your entire team. This is really a fantastic achievement for the College of Education, and really a cutting edge opportunity for these students. Thank you.
It's my privilege to be part of an awesome team. Thank you, Dr. Oppen.